Dave Gettleman, the GM there in New York, said that Saquon Barkley was touched by the hand of God. So he's happy about that pick. And Odell Beckham Jr. is as well. He said, by the way, 26 in the big blue jersey will be the #1 selling jersey in America next year. Take it all, Ben. So he's getting that endorsement from number 13 on the New York Giants. So let's keep the discussion going, guys, here in terms of what New York did. You can see here the decisions they made. They bolstered their offensive line. That was something important. Dave Gettleman said day one when he took that job, the first area they needed to fix was helping protect Eli Manning, and they did that with that pick of Will Hernandez. So the biggest discussion surrounding the New York Giants this past weekend, while they were delighted to have been able to pick Saquon Barkley, many questioned why they didn't take a quarterback. And there's somebody at this table I know had a very large question mark next to that selection, and that is our Dan Graziano, who has covered the Giants for decades. So Dan, let's begin with you in terms of your response to when you saw them go.
It's so funny. Decades.
I know you're a lot younger than I'm thinking you are here, but.
Saquon Barkley's a wonderful player, and I think he's going to play very well for the New York Giants. People seem to forget it when I say that. When you have the #2 pick in a draft where 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10, and your starting quarterback is 37 years old and hasn't played well in a couple of years, you just went 3-13, you haven't scored 30 points in a game since Tom Coughlin was your coach at the end of 2015 season, it's a mistake not to address your long-term need at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. And the main reason it's a mistake is money. Saquon Barkley is right now going to be the 4th highest paid running back in the NFL at about $8 million a year. There's no value in the pick. The point of the draft, or one of the points of the draft, is to find low-cost, productive solutions that you get early in your career. The best-case scenario for the Giants is Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league and compensated as such, and then they have to re-sign him at the end of the contract for some monster amount. The best-case scenario when you take a quarterback #2 is you get a bargain, a Carson Wentz, a Russell Wilson, somebody who can be productive for you early in their career. Maybe these guys weren't going to be that player, but you got to take that shot.
I would think if you thought Eli Manning maybe had 1 year left, you'd take the quarterback at #2. Mm-hmm. Maybe if he had, this whole draft and this entire offseason was a sort of a positive outlook on who they think Eli Manning is. Yes. He has 2 years left. Yes. He has 3 years left. We can get good play out of him. Let's go and get Nate Solder, the left tackle from the Patriots. Let's draft Will Hernandez at guard. Let's give him Saquon Barkley because we know it wasn't his fault.
Right.
It wasn't his fault. It was the coaches. He needed more people around him. We got your back, Eli. It's a huge message to Eli Manning saying we still got your back.
What do you mean? It's not just words.
I know, and I just wanted to say this though, but because I'm right with you, Dan Graziano.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Josie and I get along on this.
Yes, I'm right with you because I think that some people forget that the Giants were 0-4 when Odell Beckham Jr. was healthy. And then even after Geno Smith started and Eli Manning came back, they proceeded to lose all those games with Eli Manning as well. Eli Manning statistically, beyond the resume, beyond the last time that they've won the Super Bowl, his stats and QBR have gone down every year. And you can even support how the offensive line in certain instances was not as bad as certain people said even last year. And even beyond that, even when the offensive line is bad, do you know what quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson did? They run around a bad offensive line. And when you have a quarterback who in the age is going in the opposite direction, from what you're looking for. Mobility helps that situation. So I cannot wait for them to play the Houston Texans, and Deshaun Watson is on the opposite side, showing you what you possibly missed and getting like a Baker Mayfield or what have you had he not been taken, or someone like that to help out with those issues.
I'm not to the point where I'm rooting against them. I like Eli Manning. I hope they're right about him and I'm wrong. But my question, if you're a Giants fan, is my front office accurately assessing Eli Manning and where he is at this point in his career, or are we still reacting to the fan backlash over the benching of the ham-handed benching of Eli Manning?
I don't necessarily think that plays into how you assess Eli Manning on film and when you talk to him and when you see him. They're going to look at Eli Manning and say, okay, we can get 2 to 3 years out of him. I think it was the safest pick when you pick Saquon Barkley. Now, I also understand that the value is different. But if you think Eli Manning has 2, if you think Eli Manning has 3 years, You're not playing that quarterback until the year before you have to pick up his option. If Eli Manning is that good to you, you get Saquon Barkley, and you're not going to be able to tell the Dallas Cowboys that you made a bad pick in getting Ezekiel Elliott. You're not going to be able to tell the Jacksonville Jaguars that you made a bad pick in getting Leonard Fournette. I'm not saying that this is the right pick. I'm saying if your evaluation says Eli Manning still has 3 years left, then this is a good pick.
But we are looking at that evaluation. We're all looking at how he played. And so what I'm saying is, what is telling you in front of you that that is the case?
Well, here's what I'm saying.
What is telling you
Eli's
that
played
is the
like
case?
this. Eli's played like this in years before this. I think we're all kind of forgetting, like, this is not new for Eli Manning. They've stuck with Eli Manning through times that have been just as bad. And so what I'm saying is, Eli's athleticism, Eli's measurables have not fallen off a ton. So if you're watching
But they
say
have,
Eli and
though, but they
athleticism
have.
in the same sentence?
But they have.
right,
Eli
that's what I'm saying. They ain't fall off.
They are
He in the same place where he started, as far as those things are
They're
concerned.
convinced he's the future. It was brought up that he's 37 years old, and Dave Gettleman said, listen, these guys like Tom Brady, and he mentioned Eli, who are getting up in age, they are freaks of nature. He puts Eli Manning in that
Well,
category.
Gettleman's been proven correct here in the early stage of this whole evaluation, because he said, hey, I want a guy at number 2 who can wear a gold jacket. All these quarterbacks had red flags, and it was proven out. Baker Mayfield became the first pick. They didn't take Darnold. Josh Allen slid down. Josh Rosen slid down. They all had red flags. He's saying, I want a guy who I'm convinced and confident can wear a gold jacket. He felt Saquon Barkley's that kind. He did draft Kyle Lauletta in the 4th round out of Richmond. We thought he could go 2nd or 3rd round. If his arm gets better over the next 2 or 3 years, maybe he's Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe he's the heir apparent, and they don't have to worry about quarterback, and maybe he's better than these other guys. We don't know how it's going to play. He just felt like Barkley can wear a gold jacket, the quarterbacks can't.
I get the point, and it's well taken, and there's a lot of merit to what you're saying. But if you're just looking at it from this angle, they are a lot better today than they were a few days ago. They really are. They've got a star running back. They've got an offensive guard that can be a pile pusher and a mauler. They can run behind him. They've got Nate Solder in there as well. They're going to be improved up front. They've got Beckham Jr. They've got Ingram at tight end, who's basically just a wide receiver. So they've got a lot of weapons. They can be much better if Eli even plays average this year.
Yeah,
The
they can
question
some
is,
corners.
if they're wrong and Eli's done in a year or two, and Sam Darnold is a star for the New York Jets, are they going to regret this move?
And it doesn't mean
That's
that
the
they
question.
couldn't have been better with a quarterback, one of those quarterbacks as well. All prospects
Yeah,
have
I get all that. I'm
questions
just
in
saying,
red.
right now, you look at this
You didn't think
roster,
that about
we're
Deshaun
much
Watson
better
before,
today.
but look at how
Dan,
Deshaun
I don't
Watson
think you regret.
performed.
I don't think you regret a move, Dan, because you believe in the move. And if he's wrong, then he'll say, "Hey, hey, blame me."
Well, it'll be his
Probably get
job.
fired.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So